Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Indieheads podcast. I'm your host, Matty, a.k.a. at Monrovian Prince on Twitter. On this week's podcast, we have...
Will, user or at Will for Thrill.
Josiah, Twitter username Joe_Sia_.
And Remo Drive, at Remo Drive on Twitter.
Hey, so we have the brand new buzz band in the Indieheads podcast imaginary studio. We have the Remo Drive guys here. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So, as is tradition with the Indieheads podcast, we're just going to get straight into the news. This has been a pretty busy week, because last week is a little slow, but this week, just an onslaught of stuff to talk about. First and foremost, Gorillaz, after months of teasing, they're finally back. They announced a new album out called Humans, comes out April 28th. They released 4 new singles. Just, again, onslaught of content, which is the opposite of the Indieheads podcast, depending on the week. And what are your guys' thoughts on these new singles and the upcoming album?
Are y'all big Gorillaz fans? Anyone in the band?
Yeah, actually, I've only listened to one of the singles, but I was into it. I forget which one it was. It wasn't the 3D video one. It was one of the other ones, but that's I think one of the first CDs I ever bought was Feel Good Inc., or whatever that record was. The
Demon Days, I think.
Yeah, I remember that's right around when I started listening to music, when that record became huge. I remember.
Yeah, I never got super into them, but I remember that was one of the first CDs I bought at Target when I was in 5th grade or something. So
Let's see. Oh god, that reminds me. I think I think my first CD was it was either Panic at the Disco, their first album, or it was The Black Parade by My Chemical Romance.
Yes, to both.
My first CD was Move Along by All American Rejects.
I think actually mine too.
Yeah, True Heads Remember.
Yeah, it was great.
I think my CD that I ever got was Make Believe by Weezer.
Oh!
Hey,
Oh! Man.
Rite of Passage.
Oh. Why that one? Well, I mean, I understand.
Well, that's when Beverly Hills was big. I remember that was my first Weezer song.
Yeah,
I loved it at the time.
Yeah,
I
that's
still
true.
like it.
I love that song too, and I was just I think that's the Weezer album that was out kind of in the time when I was getting exposed to more music, so I was like, oh cool, just grab this, and then learning decades later that this is a bad record.
Okay, I will say my reaction was kind of fake, because I don't think Make Believe is as bad as people make it out to be. I think, personally, my least favorite Weezer record is Green Album. At least on Make Believe, they're trying.
That's a bad take, Matty.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, Island and Sun is great, but for the rest of the album, it's just no.
It's a nice pop album. It's nice.
Well, agree to disagree. But anyways, Gorillaz. I've only listened to I think 3 of the new singles, and a common complaint I've been hearing that I have to agree with is that they don't really feel like Gorillaz tracks. It just feels like, the Vince Staples song, oh, it's a Vince Staples song featuring Gorillaz, or oh, it's a PopCon song featuring Gorillaz, or the only track that sounds somewhat unique, I guess, it doesn't sound like whatever artist featuring Gorillaz is the one featuring Dram, Andromedia, but it doesn't really sound like Gorillaz either.
That one's my favorite.
And yeah, it's also probably my favorite too, but because it's PopCon, obviously good on Good Times featuring Young Thug and Jamie XX, but otherwise it's the whole dancehall wave. I think I have the hot take that I'm fine with dancehall being whitewashed. It's okay with me. I don't mind Drake, doing fake dancehall. It's whatever. I don't care. One Dance is a great song. I don't really care what anyone else says. Fantano, he can go fuck himself with that opinion. Which we'll talk about him later. Anyways, the new Gorillaz singles. I'll check out the album. I'm most excited for the Danny Brown and Kalila track because
that'll be good.
Boy.
That's what I'm most excited for, is the features rather than the album itself. Just because it's pretty much everybody who's been popular since their last album. Pretty much they're covering all the old time. Mm-hmm. So
I'm excited for the Grace Jones feature. That's kind of an outlier. It's similar to how they had Lou Reed on Plastic Beach, an older, really established musician.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could probably work out. I mean, hopefully, again, album's good, but we'll see. The singles, from some other.
The other big story is Noah Gallagher and what's his name? They squashed their beef after years.
Oh yeah,
Damon Albarn.
He did. Yeah, he did backup vocals on the Jenny Beth track, which That one actually might be my least favorite out of the bunch, just because it just seems like the most unfinished. I don't know. And I love Savages, I love Jenny Beth, but yeah, it definitely was like a little like, oh, this track just doesn't feel right. I don't know. But yeah, they squashed the beef. Britpop, it's coming back. All right.
Who's back of the week?
It's taken over. It's taken over. But yeah, Gorillaz. Is there anything else anyone wants to say about Gorillaz? Any hot takes you got out there?
Good band, backed hard.
Yeah.
Good band.
My custom made a video years ago and used Feel Good Ink, and it was a good video.
There we go. So let's continue on with the news. Vampire Weekend, Ezra Koenig gave another update on their next album, LP4, also known as, at least the working title is Mitsubishi Macchiato, which I really hope they keep that title. It's too perfect. So basically they gave a little update. Hey, here's kind of the, how the release of the last album went. Here's, we took a break, we're recording again. Essentially just saying, hey, we're still working on the album, don't worry. And also notable that this is going to be the first album without founding member,
Rostam
Batman
Galige.
Thank you, Will. Thank you. I should have had that. He has a weird name, okay? I couldn't... Well, I should have remembered it because it's a weird name.
I'll never forget a name with Batman in it.
That's true. But yeah, also announced 2 tracks on the album, what they're called, Conversation and Flower Moon. So, I haven't really had my Vampire Weekend phase yet, and I feel like it might have already passed me, because I'm 20 years old and it's 2017 now. I like them casually, but I'm not like, oh, I need this new Vampire Weekend album. I'm just like, oh, if it comes out, I'll listen to it. I'll probably dig it.
I'm a little bit worried because Rostam was so instrumental in the last album. Like he did almost all he recorded almost all the instruments from that album. If you look at the credits, Ezra just sang and played piano on one track. So it's definitely gonna be a big loss for them to eat. But hopefully, they can come out with something good.
I don't know if he's actually gonna if he's actually officially.
That's the other thing. It's really ambiguous.
Yeah, he's still he's working as part of the production team, I think.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, because it was pretty when he left, it was kind of wasn't like I'm leaving the band. It was more of just I'm just gonna take a break from the band. It essentially just seemed like he was quitting touring and then having a lesser role in the band when it came to the time for recording. So
yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully he produces, because I love his production.
Yeah,
I think it sounds great. So we'll see.
So yeah, that's really about it when it comes to new Vampire Weekend. Let's hope we get it hopefully this year. It seems like it'll probably be late 2018 or early 2018, late this year. So fingers are crossed. And so also speaking of more new albums, this week we had one. This is one just kind of more of a personal one. And if we had Alex here, he'd want to completely bust a nut to this. Perfume Genius has a new album coming out called No Shape. Comes out May 5th. Released a new single, Slip Away, and it's already one of my favorite songs of the year. Perfume Genius, or Mike Hadjius, is a fucking genius. I want him to be my dad, and that's all I gotta say. Also, the video, by the way, is absolutely amazing. Easily the video of the year. Although, as the years go on, it's pretty easy to take that title just by having just an ounce of creativity and having no Beats product placement.
I don't know. I liked Arca's Reverie video. I'm a fan of bleeding out of assless chaps.
Okay, that one's that one was my number one until the Slip Away video came out. The Arca album, which I've already said it, the Arca album is going to be album of the year. I don't care what anyone says. All right, he's gonna drop a classic on us. But
I like the "You're Killing Me" video. It's pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
Oh yeah, we have Remo Drive. Are any of you guys fans of Perfume Genius?
I have not listened.
I have never listened to that either.
It's a no for me.
All right, next topic.
Oh boy. Hey, all right.
No, let's skip this.
No. I want to hold on. Okay.
Cut this.
No. Well, okay. Speaking of getting cut, Father John Misty, he turned down an audition for Stranger Things and the most pitchfork article of 2017. And I just want to come here. I just put this in the news just to say, Pitchfork, guys. Okay, Stranger Things. I know
Pitchfork, retire, bitch.
Yeah. Well, he said it there. That's all you gotta say. Okay. Well, let's talk about the next news item then. keep
Ooh,
it rolling.
Let's see what it is. Yeah. So Passion Pit, they gave away their new album to fans on Twitter who retweeted their tweets and gave them their email address as part of the We Need Science campaign. I'm not a huge Passion Pit fan, so I didn't follow it too closely, but I know they retweeted Jeremiah, which made his day. And yeah, the people are saying that's better than their last album, so
yeah,
I'm interested to hear it.
Yeah, the weird release cycle, I just like, because I just, on Indieheads, just like, oh, it's all these like new fresh links. I'm just like, oh, what is this? I don't understand. If it's not a surprise release or a traditional album release, I don't understand it, and I don't want to be a part of it.
Basically, he's like emailed it to people that retweeted him.
Yeah, I mean, just like the way because he released like every song like on YouTube pretty much, and then eventually like I guess it's a unique way. I haven't really, yeah, I mean, I think it's been kind of done before, but not as like, I guess vaguely as this. It just seemed like not as mysterious. Because I mean, bands I've probably done releasing every single from an album before the album comes out, but this is definitely more of just like it's much more low key than usually expected whenever that happens. So.
Actually, speaking of weird releases, I do want to ask one question before our interview. Greatest Hits came out on Thursday, a few weeks, the 16th, instead of Friday the 17th. What was the reasoning for that?
It was kind of just an arbitrary date. I think that we like usually are together on Thursdays, so we were like, this is just a good day, kind of for us to.
Yeah. Also, people on Fridays usually have like better things to do.
Yeah, we were like, what if all of our friends are out doing stuff and they don't listen to it on Friday? So
that's actually a good point, because I did make a point to listen to this album on Thursday, and it might have been at the top of my pile if it come out on Friday. So not bad.
You gotta jump the gun, all right? That you gotta say fuck the industry. The industry says Friday. No, we're doing Thursday. All right.
Thursdays for the boys.
That's all we shoot
trying
for.
to stick it to the man.
Exactly. All right. Fucking yeah. The man says Friday. No, actually,
You
it's
say
kind of funny,
Thursday. The weekend starts on Friday. No, it starts on Thursday.
Weekend starts on Wednesday.
Boy.
Thank God it's Thursday.
Yeah, thank God it's Thursday.
TGIT.
Yeah.
That reminds me. I was watching an interview with like Porches. Like he did like one of those, like Chart Attack. They do like the rapid fire interviews. He was saying like, oh, my favorite day's Thursday because it's like, it's not the weekend just yet, but you're getting excited about the weekend. And
Yeah.
So yeah, Thursday's a good day.
It's hype.
Thursday gives you that little push that you need. You're like, oh, it's coming. Like
You're working
release
for the
is
weekend.
coming.
Mm-hmm. Also, it's a day I don't have class and I have my radio show, so I love Thursdays.
Yeah.
So
That's a good reason.
So I think it's about it for news. I don't know if we really have anything else besides by the way, I didn't mention Remo Drive did an AMA on r/Indieheads that I helped set up. So definitely give that a read after you listen to this podcast, of course. But I think this might be a little better. Who knows? We'll have to see. Anyways, let's get into what we've been listening to this week. I'm going to start off, and the way we do this now for the Remo boys, we essentially, again, it's a minute or less to talk about whatever album you want. Either give a recommendation, talk about an album you listened to this week that you hated. Essentially, you have a minute or less to talk about the album that you chose. So I'm going to start off real quickly with the new Mount Eerie album, A Crow Looked at Me. We talked about this last week on the podcast, and I only listened to it once at that point, and I've listened to it a bit more. I've tried to listen to it a bit more this week. And I know it's going to be, at least for the rest of the year, it's going to be the generic. I don't want this album to be turned into like the generic like cry album that like Carrying Lola got turned into, because there is something about this album. I mean, obviously, if you don't know the story, Phil Everham, his wife died back in July, and he wrote this album sort of in the aftermath of her death, and just essentially the album is almost entirely about her death and raising their daughter in the process of this horribly traumatic event. And I don't really cry often to the music, weirdly enough. Usually it takes a lot to get out of me, or it's usually only one song. But when I was listening to this album yesterday, there was multiple times where I just bawled. I just bawled into tears. I was reading the Pitchfork review, and I read a line, and it was just like, I just started bursting into tears. It was just like, I haven't really had an album do that to me in quite a long time. So if you're going to listen to this album, be prepared. But I guess I do recommend it, but it's you have to be fully prepared to dig into this. So that's all I gotta say. Crow Looked at Me, Mount Eerie. Will? You're up next, buddy.
All right. My album I'm going to be talking about is Brutalism by Idols. They're a new band. They just released their debut album. And I had it recommended to me by a friend. And it's, if we'd done our first quarter review podcast last week, I definitely would have talked about this one. It's one of the wildest, or one of the most intense albums I've heard in a long time. Because they do, it's technically post-punk what they're doing, but it's kind of a blend of that and hardcore punk, where they're just yelling at you the entire time. And it's just all so loud all the time, and so like direct and punishing. It's definitely they do what they do better than pretty much any other post-punk band I've heard. So definitely check them out.
Yeah, I also gave us a listen. I don't think I'm as hot on it as you are, or like our friend Jackson.
I thought you'd like.
No,
it.
I like it. I like it, but I'm not like as hot on
things.
Because like I've been really getting into girl band lately, and so this is just like it's not as good as girl band, but I still really dig it. Definitely would also recommend it. So yeah,
and this is like those lyrical passages where they just kind of repeat a phrase over and over again. Like especially like in Mother, where it's like my mother works 15 hours 5 days a week. My mother works 16 hours 6 days a week. And it just goes on the entire time.
Yeah, definitely worth a listen.
Yes.
Definitely some really good noise, post-punk noise rock. So
noise rock for sure.
Yeah, Josiah, you're up next, buddy. You're up to bat.
All right. I've been listening to a lot of beach music by Alex G lately, partly because he's got a new album coming out, but also because I think it's an album that really fits like the kind of early spring vibe very well, and it's been constantly gray out where I'm at, so I think it fits kind of well. Surface level, it's kind of a melancholy album, but there's like a sense of hopefulness throughout. It kind of reminds me of almost like it's like a mix of Pavement, where they're like it's purposefully almost inaccessible at times, but with more melancholy, like almost Elliott Smith edge to it. But yeah, I've been enjoying that a lot.
All right, nice. All right, Remo Drive. Sam, what have you been listening to this week?
I've been listening to the Lemon Twigs album, Do Hollywood, and I'm really guilty because I haven't actually listened to it front to back yet, because I just listened to it on Spotify and I don't pay for premium. So I just all the songs shuffled. But yeah, they're great songs. My good friend Jake showed me them, and yeah, he's in a really cool band called Hippocampus too.
Oh, so, oh, damn! I set up their AMA like a month ago.
Really? That's awesome. Yeah, super good friends with those guys. But yeah, check out their new album Landmark as well. Amazing.
That's a good album.
Yeah, they're good guys, definitely. Yeah, shouts out to Landmark. It's a great album. So yeah, that's hey, it's funny enough because I know you guys are both Minnesota, right? Minnesota.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely been like it's been like because I work at an alternative station, like it's a college station, but we've been playing Hippocampus since like their first EP, and I think we presented their show like a year and a half ago. And it's definitely like crazy to see like how big they've gotten like so early on.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's Sam used to be in like a kind of like classic rock type like cover band with Jake and Zach, so it's cool to see just them like I don't know doing all that stuff.
Yeah. We used to like wrestle each other when we were little, so it's funny to see them killing it now, you know.
See, now you got to wrestle them for the best band in Minnesota. Now you got to wrestle for that title.
How about that? We'll just wrestle them for fun.
Yeah,
we like some good old wrestling.
do it for charity.
Yeah, exactly. Read some donations.
Gotta get those Bandcamp sales up.
Yeah,
get the name out there. Anyways, so Steven, what have you been listening to this week?
So I've been listening to Angel Olsen's record My Woman, and I slept on it at the end of 2016, and I like kept on seeing the album cover. I was like, dang, if I'm seeing this a bunch, I should probably check it out. So then just kind of like last week, I just like listened to the whole thing through, and I was just like, damn, this is like a solid record. And it was just kind of like, I don't know, it's just like chill and just like really good like lyrics and like instrumentals, and I was just really liking it a lot, and it's just good music, and have been trying to dig more into her discography over the last week too, just to see what else she's put out. So a lot of the stuff that she's put out has been super cool. So I've been pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I'm a big Angel Olsen fan. I fucking love her. Also a St. Louis native, as I'm kind of from I live in the St. Louis area, so it's always cool to see like someone from like who was from the area like get like massive. And
Yeah.
I saw her live in September, and I met her at a meet and greet, and she signed my record, and I was so intimidated.
Yeah.
She was drinking LaCroix, and I was like, I've posted on Twitter about wanting her to choke me, so it's like, I don't want to, what am I doing here? Like, why am I here? Yeah, Angel Olsen, I think I was like in my top 3 last year. It's a fucking amazing record.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys follow me on Twitter now, so you know.
You know the bad content he makes.
Yes, you got to know at this point. But anyways, but Erik, what about you, man?
I have also been listening to that Idols record.
Hell yeah.
I guess I just kind of was turned on to it because I've been, especially since the Fantano stuff with us, I've been like just following the channel even more closely than I already did. So it's I saw that the Idols stuff got like really good reviews, so I went and watched like a couple of the videos and I was into it. And I think like that I just like I hadn't heard like a post-punky thing or like a hardcore thing that I was super into in a while. So it was kind of cool for me to just kind of. I also just haven't been listening to much heavy music or like aggressive music lately, so it was cool to kind of have something to get me excited about that again. And yeah, great songs, like kind of repetitious lyrics, but like kind of menacing. I don't know. That's cool.
It kind of reminds me of Swans in a way with the repetition and how they use it.
It reminds me of them like in the 80s.
Yeah.
I think a couple of these post-look bands, they've been really good about like using repetition as a way to kind of essentially like break you down. It's like
right.
Obviously Swans takes it to like the maximum with like these fucking like half an hour long songs and just all this repetition. But it's always good to keep it, in short forms. I think Girl Band, who is I think another. Well, they're from Ireland. Is Idols? Is it just the UK or is it Ireland?
Well, they're from what's it called?
Wales, I think, or
no, Bristol.
Okay, so yeah, but yeah, it's always I like pissed off people from the UK screaming at me, so I dig it. And speaking of screaming in my face, Remo Drive. That was a horrible segue. See, someone made one of the fans of the podcast that I know,
award-winning listeners.
One of our regular listeners, which I don't know why we have him. He made an Indieheads bingo board, and that's one of the panels is horrible segues.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, Remo Drive. They're in the house for an interview. We want to talk to you guys real quick about the new album, talk about the origins, and just have a little fun. So I'll start it off real quick. This is a question I don't really see too often, or at least I see it in a different way. I feel like every musician has to have that sort of like spark that makes them go, oh, I want to start playing music, or like, oh, I want to start writing music. And like, what was that for all of you guys? Like, what was that moment where just that, I guess, it just sort of clicked and you're like, oh, I want to do this?
Well, like growing up for me, I learned how to play drums, and then I kind of just started covering music because like that's what you do. When you start out is you learn other people's songs, you learn how to play your instrument, and then you do that with other people and start like covering songs. So I think, I don't know, you can only like do that for so long. And so like for writing like original music, that I think it just came for me like out of just getting tired of playing classic rock songs. But yeah.
I guess for me, I wanted to like start playing guitar because I had like played Guitar Hero at elementary school, and it was like during the after school program, and I heard like Smoke on the Water, and I thought it was like the sickest thing ever. And
it's almost my exact same origin.
Then like in the school year following that, there was a kid who I thought was really cool because he had like All American Rejects CDs and stuff, and he played guitar at Show and Tell, and I was like, fuck, I need to do that. He's really cool. So I kind of got into it because I was kind of like an outcast as a kid, and I was like, this will make people like me. And then
it never does.
It doesn't work out that way. It's not as I'm trying to think of the word. I'm not sure, but that's yeah. Eventually, I think it was when I started listening to I don't know. I kind of went through like that whole like shred guitar thing that a lot of I think kids are super attracted to because they're like, this is really impressive, and that's so kind of once I got through that, and I was like, I think I got into more like songwriting-y stuff. It was probably in like 9th grade when I had I don't know. I was like, I think I'd found Dinosaur Jr. somehow. I was looking through Fender's artist roster on their website, and I was like, this guitar looks cool. And so I looked up Dinosaur Jr. and he could like play really well, like, and yeah, I was like attracted to the songwriting part, and that's kind of when I think I was like, I want to write songs and not just be a guitar player.
Gotcha.
And then for me, it was with like music. Like Eric and I both took like piano lessons when we like both started, like when I started kindergarten, and then the year after Eric started kindergarten, we like were taking piano lessons, and then we were kind of like in with like music with that, but then more like getting into like playing bass in middle school, and Eric had already been playing guitar I think for like a year and a half or whatever, and then I wanted to learn how to play guitar too because Eric learned how to play guitar. And I was like, dang, I think I could do this too. And then I took one lesson, and I hated it. And then I was like, dang, maybe I should just try bass or whatever, and not like the cop-out, like, oh, like, if you're not good at guitar, you should just play bass. It was more just like, oh, I should just try this to see how this is, since I might like it more. And then I just started playing bass, and then I was like, oh, I actually really enjoy this a lot. And then just started taking lessons from, like, a teacher, and then was in like the school like jazz band, and then Eric and I just started like covering songs together, and then found other people like at our like middle school to like cover songs with, and then we had like a little like talent show band for like 2 years, and then
We were called Firestorm with a Y.
yeah.
So like instead of fire is FYRE.
Yep.
Oh god.
Nice.
No, it was fucking brutal. And then
We played Beat It by
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
yeah,
Did y'all play the guitar solo?
Oh, I tried. It wasn't very good, but my dad has a video somewhere.
I like to see that.
maybe someday it'll surface.
Yeah. It's probably on the Paulson Bros YouTube that our dad runs.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Uh-oh. Get ready.
We're gonna find this video. I'm gonna put it on at the end of the podcast for the
There's
video
definitely of both Steven and I's old band, Kind of Incredible, and Sam's old band, Blatant Youth.
Yeah, if you want to check out the band I was in with two of the dudes from Hippocampus, look up Blatant Youth. It's sick.
Oh god.
Sweet County Fair shows and
Yeah.
Oh man, okay. I just googled it. You guys did a cover of "Sweet Child of Mine."
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think there's a single show that we played where we did not play that song.
Oh man, this is amazing. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
so-
Oh god, you guys are all so small. Jesus. Oh man.
Really?
So how old were you when this was happening and you were playing in these bands?
oh, we were all in middle school, I think, around this time.
Yeah, middle
Okay.
school, elementary
Yeah, I
school.
started like late elementary school, kind of.
Yeah.
Middle school, yeah.
So when did you start playing? I guess like let's even go further back. How did three of you know each other? You went to school together.
We're
no.
related.
No,
You're related.
Steven and I are related. We're brothers, and then
And I'm their uncle.
no,
All right.
we met Sam through this, I guess, kind of through School of Rock.
Which is like it's like an extracurricular like program where like kids, you just like, it's just a bunch of kids that like
Are interested in music.
are interested in music and like want to start like playing shows, but they might not have the capacity to start their own band just because they don't
These
know
are
the
like
people.
fifth graders.
Yeah, because they're just like super young and they don't know a lot of people who play music yet. So then it's just like a lot of learning like cover sets, like where it's like, oh, we're gonna do a Beatles show. Here's like 3 Beatles songs they have to learn and like perform like in a couple months. There's just a lot of stuff like that, and like I think it's just kind of like through like just knowing people who went to the
We
program.
mutually knew each other, but we went to different locations of this place.
Yeah.
So like we didn't really meet. And then they also went to high school with the guitarist of another band I was in called Cue the Click. And yeah, have fun looking that one up too. But yeah, the letter Q, and then CLIQUE. Click. Anyway, yeah, the guitarist of that band went to school with these guys, and we needed a bass player for that other band at the time. So he hit up Steven, and so that's kind of
how I met
Steven,
Sam.
yeah.
And then once like we started, like when I was like Erik and I were forming Remo Drive, we didn't have a drummer initially, and like on the early demos that I don't think are on the internet anywhere anymore. Maybe they are, but it was like Erik and I were playing drums, and then like I played some guitar on it and bass, and then Erik played some guitar and like bass and drums, and sang. And then we were like, dang, we should really get a drummer for this.
Because
or whatever.
both of us suck.
You weren't good enough at drumming, so we were like, dang, we should find someone. And then I just like was talking to Sam at like the Cute the Click practice or whatever, and I was like, hey, would you be interested in like jamming sometime and just seeing like how this like goes or whatever? And then like we just started jamming, and then like it just like vibed really well. And, yeah.
I remember I thought that Sam wouldn't say yes because he had been in a band with like the Jake and Zach. I was like, they were super cool. Like I remember seeing Jake like sing at like the best of season things for School of Rock, and I was like, fuck, he's so good.
Yeah.
Like there was like this Anthrax song that he sang. It was like I forget which one it was. It was like for the classic metal thing, I think. I don't know. It was cool.
So that,
I'm not going to see Remo Drive. Why would I do that? Just kidding.
so when was that?
This
That was
is
2014.
beginning of like 2014. That's when Sam joined the band. So
All right. So then, when did you start recording this album?
This one we started working on. I think it was.
this was like
With Sam and I started. We had our first time jamming together again. I think in March of 2016.
February.
Yeah,
Yes,
February.
2016.
yeah, 2016.
All right. And I see you worked with Jack Shirley.
Yep.
He's worked with Def Heaven and Jeff Rosenstock, one of my favorite people in the world right now.
Yeah.
He's
So
the
good.
best. So how did you get in contact with him?
We sent emails to a bunch of people who are like mixing guys that we liked their stuff. Like we sent an email to Jack. We sent an email to to Dave Schiffman, the guy who did the Pup record. We sent an email to a guy who done like Joyce Manor stuff, and we just kind of like nobody else really got back to us, or if they did, they were kind of like, we can't like work at your budget. And then Jack got back to us, and he was like, hey, the demos sound cool. And he's like, I'm down. And so that was kind of like, that was exciting for me too, because that was like right in my peak of being into We Cool. So I was like, this is sweet.
And did you record at his studio in California?
We recorded in my parents' house, and then I just like sent him all the files over the internet. And
All right. Okay. Very cool. So when did that? So that was last spring.
We started recording, I think, in July of last year.
July.
Yep.
All right. And then when did that finish?
I think I did my last vocal take in October of last year. So
October. All right. So have you been playing any shows since then?
let's see here. We kind of took some time off from, like, we only did like I think one show a month while we were like working on the recording, and then we took a break to do like a 17-day tour in August. And that's I had done some vocals before that tour, but like I sang a lot better on those songs after the tour had happened, so I redid everything kind of. And
I'm not on your site right now. Are you touring for this album?
I hope so. We're kind of in the process of
Hope
figuring
so.
out what's up with, because there's been some people who have reached out to us and they seem interested, and then we kind of lose contact. So we're just in the process of figuring out like if we should just book it ourselves or if we should wait for help and all that. And, yeah. So
Yeah, I feel like that's gotta be like one of the biggest things, because you guys just like, I mean, January just blew up all of a sudden, you know, thanks to that Fantano thing, and now it's just like, I mean, what were you guys like even before like you guys, I guess, email Fantano? Were you still planning on dropping the album in March?
yep,
Yeah,
we picked March 16th as like an arbitrary date, like I think sometime in December. We had released like a Christmas song, and we had all gotten together and we were like, we should plan our album now.
Yeah.
And we are also we had worked with like DIY labels on like previous releases of ours, and we were like kind of just like, we decided we want to do this on our own. So we were like, if we're gonna do this on our own, we should like figure out what we're gonna do. So we released the Christmas song as kind of like a test to see if we could get some buzz on our own, and it did pretty well for us. So we were like, yeah, we could just try it and like see if we could do it on our own. And then I sent like probably like 60 emails like trying to get publications to cover our album, and the last email I sent was the Anthony Fantano thing, and he was the only email that came through, so that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gotta be.
Especially. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, because that Fantano co-sign is always very prestigious. 'Cause I know there's like a couple acts that like I would not have listened to otherwise had it not been for Fantano. Like back in 2015, like Clarence Clarity, I would not have listened to his album if it wasn't for Fantano. And that's like one of my favorite pop albums in recent years.
Injury Reserve is another one. I wouldn't have
yeah.
listened to them, and I love them. So that's definitely a big bump, especially since your music isn't really what he's into right now. He's kind of been talking a lot of bad mouth about indie rock lately, saying it's not very creative, but he's digging you guys, so you might be doing something right.
I'm not sure what, but I'm glad that he liked it. It makes me happy because I think he was a big tastemaker for me when I was like in early high school and all that, and yeah, it was.
I think almost everyone on the podcast, maybe not everyone, but at least for me, and Will, would you probably agree that like Fantano was like he was definitely like the gateway guy of me like getting me more into music and me getting interested in music writing and doing reviews and podcasts and whatnot. He's the guy who just had that spark of, oh, I want to talk about music like he talks about music.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's definitely the biggest individual tastemaker in music right now, I think, and I don't see it changing anytime soon.
Unless another like a JonTron scale event happens to him, then otherwise he's good.
Yeah. I mean, it comes in cycles. You know, like way back in the day, it was Rolling Stone, and then in the '80s, all those DIY zines came out, and then when the internet came, Pitchfork came the preeminent one, and then once YouTube kind of came up, then he kind of took the throne. So we'll see.
When VR come out, then we'll have a new leader.
Oh yeah. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna get on that right now. I'm gonna start investing in VR. I'm gonna be the first VR YouTube reviewer. All right, I'm gonna be right in your face telling you to listen to the new fucking Dean Blunt album. All right.
So, you can spit in the sweat, the blood and the tears.
Anyway, so the album. Let's talk about the album itself. I'm gonna try to say this without sounding like I'm not trying to offend. I'm honestly surprised at how like consistent the album is throughout, where it keeps like at some point with like I've not been the biggest like pop punk fan or like emo fan in the past, so I'm always expecting okay, the album's gonna fall off at some point, but it just from song to song it just keeps going, it keeps getting better, and it's just so surprising to me. And from reading interviews and whatnot, it definitely seems like the album, at least from the AMA, it seemed like it was sort of made comparatively like haphazardly, like it wasn't the initial plan. And then just sort of, you know, once you guys started kind of coming together with songs and starting to write a bit more, that's kind of when, you know, the album came together. And that's another reason why I'm so surprised it's as consistent as it is. It seems like it was comparatively like planned a bit haphazardly or just sort of like done not exactly on purpose.
Yeah, I think a lot of it for us was that it was kind of Sam had just rejoined the band, so we were just kind of. And I was kind of like feeling really burnt out on music, so I was kind of like, I just want to like have fun again and like feel like playing like how playing was when I was a kid, kind of like where it was like fun to go to practice and fun to do all this stuff, because I was starting to feel just like super, I don't know, kind of just burnt out with music. So we kind of just were like, let's just write like bangers, kind of like just really fun songs that like we can look forward to getting together and jamming, and like they're fun for us to play and stuff. And then I think eventually after like we had written a couple of them, it started becoming clear which ones like fit together and which ones didn't. I think that's kind of when we started picking like a direction with the album, because like I think once we were 6 in, that's when we were like, okay, we should cut this one that was like Sam Jam 2 at the time, and then Sam Jam 6.
All the songs like
had working titles that were Sam Jam something and a number.
Yeah.
So we wrote 16 songs total for the album, and then cut it down to 10. So
there you go. So do you guys plan in the future ever releasing the 6 tracks you cut, or?
Probably not, because
rarities.
They kind of were like, I think that they kind of sounded like the old stuff that we took off the internet for a few of them, and then
I don't know, some of them we could always try, you know.
Some of them we could try reworking, I think, but I think a lot of them, like, we cut them for a reason, kind of. So it's like, I think for us, it's probably more important to move forward and try to go, I don't know, some other direction that's not expected, kind of. So
See,
I was curious about how you guys did like the instrumentals before the vocals. Like, is that how you generally work, or and then do you just kind of make the vocals tonally consistent?
yeah, I typically like how writing a song for us works is like I'll kind of just be up in my room for a long time, like working on like guitar ideas, kind of, because I learned how to play guitar before I kind of knew anything about singing and stuff. So I think that one of our biggest goals as a band, I think, is to make sure that like even without vocals, that the music is still interesting. Like because I don't know, that's kind of always just been like something that a lot of us, I think, when we were coming up, like we went to like the School of Rock, so it was always like people were super impressed by like instrumental bands and stuff, and so I think we kind of like, I don't know, put an emphasis on the instrumentals being cool just on their own, and then putting vocals on top of them. And yeah, I kind of just like play like the cell phone demo that we take at the practice and try to write to that kind of, and then I like have like a thought journal that I keep and look through that to find inspiration for songs, sort of. So
there you go. Let's see, another thing about the record. I also, just another thing with the record, I will say just the relatability of it, of just like, I really like the track. Let's see, let me just go through the track list real quickly. I'm my own doctor. Yeah, I'm my own doctor. Like maybe not I really do relate to that track of just sort of dealing with depression and not really doing anything about it, or not really trying to get help, and just kind of, again, self-prescribing stuff. And in the interview you did with Overblown, I think, recently, kind of going like track by track through the album, you know, you're sort of, you know, again, just like essentially you're just through moments of like horrible sickness and just like trying to, you know, do your own thing to try to fix it. And I mean, were you writing during that time even, or?
A lot of that year I was writing stuff, but it was kind of like I wasn't enjoying any of it. It was sort of, that was like that was a couple of months before Sam had joined, and that was just kind of, that was when I was feeling kind of just like burnt out on writing songs and music, and I don't know, yeah, I was just like, I was writing stuff, but I don't think any of it was really anything very good. So it was kind of, I think once Sam and I started playing together again, that's when I got excited about playing. I don't know if that answers.
No, that's another thing you said. You said it was your freshman year of college.
Yep.
So are you still going to school? Are you in the band?
I'm a sophomore right now at the place I'm going to, and I'm in a 2-year program, so I'm almost done. But
all right, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's see. Wait, is it community college or?
It's like a music like type school. I'm going there for audio recording.
Oh, okay, all right. I was gonna say, shouts out community college.
Yeah, that's I think I might go to a community college thing after I'm done, though, just because I want to see if I can. I don't know, I've kind of felt like understimulated working on just like music stuff alone, so I kind of want to try like maybe getting a degree in something too, like outside of music, just so I can, or like English classes, or I don't know.
So what were we gonna say, Will?
Oh yeah, one song like lyrically that interests me is "Eat Shit."
Oh yeah.
How how graphic it is, like saying like I'm no stranger to hospital lobbies. Are these literal, or is these more figurative lyrics?
They're literal, but I don't think they're. I think maybe some people are taking them more seriously, kind of, than they should be. Because that song's about me when I was in the peak of my Jeff Rosenstock listening. I went out skateboarding, and I was trying to dance on my skateboard and listen to Nausea at the same time. I mean, dance and skate at the same time while listening to Nausea, and I fell my head, broke my helmet. Like, so I like, and it's kind of embarrassing because my mom like works at a hospital, and like we usually, whenever I get hurt from doing some stupid shit like that, we end up going to the same place that she used to work at. So kind of the doctors know who I am just from seeing me getting like all these like stitches and stuff all the time. They're like, "Oh, he's back. He was, what stupid thing was he doing this time?"
Dancing to Jeff Rosenstock while he was skating.
Yeah.
No, I can relate. Like a few weeks ago, I'm in improv comedy class, and we were playing some game with a stick where we have to pretend it's something else. And I tried to pole vault.
Oh yeah.
I sprained my ankle, and I couldn't walk for like 3 or 4 days.
Oh,
I've done some dumb stuff too.
Shout out to improv. I took improv in high school, it was tight.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's fun.
So I always wish I did
It's
I wish there was always a program because like the closest I got to doing improv in high school was like making shitty PSAs that weren't really PSAs for like my multimedia class,
Oh yeah.
which just I don't understand how I got away because we made multiple videos where we had like our mascot costume and essentially the videos were the two mascot costumes they just fight each other. It was like a fucking like red bird. It was like
That sounds fun though.
let's see. So God,
Do you have any questions, Josiah?
Yeah, I don't know if we covered it already. What's like the origin of the name Remo Drive, and do you guys ever spend time at First Avenue?
I guess the origin of the name came from me just kind of like wanting to start a band. I was like, okay, well, like what would be like a cool name for like the band to be? And then like I was like down in our basement and I just like was like cleaning up or whatever, and I like saw like the drum company like Remo, like I had just one of their like drum heads. So I was just like, oh, this sounds cool. Maybe I should just kind of like figure out like something just kind of like to go at the end that might be like cool and might like just work well. And then I was just like thinking of a bunch of stuff, and then I think it was just kind of like, oh, Remo Drive, that'd be cool. It kind of just like, to me at least, it just seems like it kind of just like flows well, and it's just like easy to remember, and it's nothing like, I don't know. It's like it doesn't have any meaning, but it's just something where it's just like it's just a random two words put together. So
Yeah, it sounds like almost local, but in a good way. Like it has a real sense of creativity to it, I think, as much as two words can.
yeah.
Thank you. That's and for the First Ave thing, we I think we spend more time at 7th Street, which is like the venue connected to First Ave, which is like where all the local shows and stuff happen.
Yeah, and it's like I think like a 250 capacity like club, and then like First Avenue is like 1,500.
But we do like going to shows.
Yeah.
Like I saw Neutral Milk Hotel at First Ave, and that was like a dream come true for me.
Yeah, and I saw Death Grips there on their like US tour that they did before they stopped being a thing. So.
And then
Cool.
continue to be a thing. Are y'all ever gonna pretend to break up but not actually break up?
oh God.
Yep.
Will, you're triggered. Okay, man. The whole Jenny death cycle. That's like the most fun and the most I hated being a fan of a band because it's like this is so much fun to follow, but also I hate being emotionally manipulated. It was like they were putting me through the dentist system for 9 months straight. It was just the worst.
Yeah.
I wrote a quick question. The art school video, since we were talking about high school, how did that video even get filmed, or like what was the process of filming that video? Because like you're killing me. It's like okay, you guys are like hanging out in your neighborhood, or crash test rating. Like okay, it's live shows, but it's like it seems like you guys like you had like somehow got like access to an old school or some shit and got people to do choreography and whatnot. So how did that all come together?
So I think it was like in July when we were like recording all the songs. I think we started to like kind of come up with like some ideas for like the videos, and I think it probably wasn't even art school, but one of the songs we were just like listening to like takes back on it, and I was like, we should do like a straight up like dance video, like that would be like so funny, like because people just wouldn't like expect it. And then later on, after the album was recorded, I remembered that, and I actually went to a performing arts high school, and so I contacted one of my old teachers, John Mark, who directed the video, and I was just like, hey, like we're trying to do like we really want to do like a dance video, like could you help us out with that? Thinking that like he could like maybe just kind of like get dancers together and choreograph the whole thing and try to teach us how to dance. But he ended up like directing everything and like doing it all pretty much. We just showed up. But it was amazing to work with him, and like because when we shot it, like we had like all these like things that like it was like, okay, you're gonna do these like classroom shots and like now you're gonna dance into the hall and like, oh, okay, like cool, like we're all into this. But I don't think any of us like really had like much of an idea of like how it would look or like how it would come together. And so like seeing like that like video after it was done was like crazy. We were all blown away.
See, wait, was this
Did
the
he
same?
direct?
Was this the same school that you got that the hippocampus went to? Because I remember them talking about going to like a performing arts school.
They went to SBCPA, which is actually in St. Paul.
Okay.
But yeah, and then for like the buildings, the school itself is Main Street Performing Arts in Hopkins, Minnesota, and they have like all the classroom shots are like shot in like the current building, and then they're actually moving locations to like a really nice like bigger like building next year, and so all the hallway shots are at that future building.
Oh damn. Okay, so I was wondering like how'd you get like did you guys just like film after school or something to get all these like empty hallways?
I think it was on a Sunday.
Yeah, it was on a Sunday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Because it's always weird like having like being like whenever I was making videos back in the day in high school, just having like essentially empty hallways to film in like in between classes was just like this is really bizarre. Or like I go to community college, I'm in my radio program, and I have a shift on the weekend, so it's always weird just being in the school where it's like, oh, there's like absolutely no one here. Why am I in this building? Why are they letting me in this building? I could literally just do whatever the fuck I could just do destroy a window or some shit.
You could shoot a music video.
Exactly.
It's like high school too, you know. But yeah.
And did the same guy direct all 3 videos, or how many videos you have?
We have 4. He only did that one, but I think we're gonna try to work with him again in the future because it's kind of nice because I had edited and like done all the stuff on the 3 previous videos leading up to art school, so it was definitely a weight off of my shoulders to have to edit a video after being in it and stuff, and yeah, it was super nice.
I like the eat shit video just because you get a swirly.
Oh yeah,
And that's always a fun visual.
Yeah, that's I was like when we were brainstorming video ideas, I think something that was really important to us was that we hadn't seen anything like that like that type of video before. So we were like, I didn't realize it at the time. There's an AJJ video that's like the You're Killing Me one where they're running behind a car, but
well, I mean, Blink-182 kind of did that too. Right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not a completely new trope, but I think you made it your own.
Yeah, that's yeah, and then I mean the crash test one, it was kind of like we just had a friend who did show photography for us, so we were like, let's just do a live video because that'll be something to kind of keep the ball rolling for us.
Especially because then like people can see what our shows are like,
yeah,
like, kind of like our live energy.
Yeah. And then I guess the Eat Shit video is just kind of thought it was kind of a funny just like pun with the title, even though the song isn't really related to that at all. Which some people I guess have taken it as somehow the swirly being related to the song, but that's yeah, I had a lot of fun animating the poop emoji going across.
Video editing is like I love to do video editing whenever I get the chance to, because sometimes I'm not always inspired, but whenever I get the chance to like really flex my muscles a little bit and do that, it's like, oh man, this is so much fun.
Yeah, it's like for me it was like the poop emoji was one of the most frustrating things, but also one of the most like satisfying things, I think.
It's kind of like going to the bathroom.
It's kind of like going to the bathroom when you think about it. It can be frustrating, satisfying.
It can be hard, but it's rewarding.
So okay, if you guys don't mind, we got a couple questions from Twitter. I wanna give you guys real quick, and also some other quick like rapid fire stuff.
Okay.
So one of the first ones we got was so from Twitter user @Tachyon_, will they be my dad / what's next for them after greatest hits?
We will be your uncle. We can't we can be cool uncles, but we can't be dads, I don't think.
We'll be funkles.
Yeah. And we'll be your uncle who introduces you to Parliament Funkadelic.
Have you met that?
That's but what's next for us is I guess we're just gonna keep on kind of doing whatever comes to our plate, because it's kind of everything's been really like kind of spontaneous and random for us, sort of. So
I think we're gonna try to milk this for sure as much as we possibly can,
because it's really cool, and I think that it's kind of, we want to see like, I guess, how much the record can do, because we're not really used to getting much attention at all with the stuff that we release. So it's like we're gonna kind of try to just see what happens, and then we're also, we started writing new music already, so we've been kind of taking a break from that just so we can rehearse our live show a bunch. But that's we're probably like 5 to 7 songs into writing a new thing. I'm not sure how many songs we'll keep from that, but that's
see, personally, I think you guys should pull Death Grips and do 2 records in 1 year. Yeah, pull No Up Deep Web, pretend to sign to a label, and then drop the label and leak your own record.
Yeah.
They have to get signed first, though.
Yeah, well, or we could drop our own, just our independence, and I don't know how we could do that and make it even more independent. Maybe we'll get off the internet. We'll drop the internet.
And this next question is probably the most important one. Is Jeff Rosenstock's "Worry" or "We Cool Better" from Sam Martinelli's?
Okay. I saw this one earlier, and I tried to think about it, and let's see here. I think that they kind of serve different purposes for me. I think that one of them is like an album experience, and the other one is like just banger after banger, and that's We Cool, I think. But as far as like album stuff goes, I think Worry is like, I mean, that like last like section of it where it's just rapid.
The medley.
Cool. That's like. Yeah. So I don't know if that answers it, but I think lately I've been feeling Worry more. But I think probably when summer comes, I'll be feeling We Cool. So.
I agree with that's a good answer.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what else.
I'll take this next one. This one's actually really important to me because I do want to debate about this. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Hey, 2015 called.
Wait.
They want their question back.
Oh yeah, who asked this one?
It was at the Friendly Giant.
Oh yeah.
Oh okay. Oh yeah. I guess to me a hot dog is a world within itself. It's a mystical creature that it's not right to try to pin it into a box.
Yeah.
It's one. They come from all over. There are Chicago-style dogs. There are New York-style dogs.
Our lawyer told us not to use this one.
So that we wouldn't get sued.
Yeah, that's I guess the magical thing about hot dogs is that there's so many options. We always go to this place called Johnny B's, and
that's in Grand Rapids,
Michigan. Whenever we're there, and also Dirty Frank's,
Columbus, Ohio,
in Columbus, Ohio, and we're dog boys.
Yeah,
through and through.
dog boys. I like
Dirty
it.
dogs.
Hey, if Remo ever sues you, the drum company, just change your name to that, Dog Boys, and with a Z at the end too. The Z is very important.
That was implied.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Dog boys.
So, okay, another question from at Folkos. What does the line "Setia in moments passing, then they're gone," and where did you learn the word Setia?
I think that's supposed to mean like I think satia is like being full, kind of like, or being like satisfied, and I'm not sure where I learned it. I think it was maybe in a vocab book at some point, but yeah, I think I was just I like that word, and I think there's also maybe a Jank song that has something about satia in it, but then yeah, just being comfortable at very small periods of time and then feeling weird. I think that's kind of what the line is supposed to be. But yeah.
All right, I think this next question, I think maybe a good last question too, is from at Connor Evans 1.
Okay.
What are your favorite recent records, and what were your expectations for greatest hits, and are you surprised with the reception?
I think at first with the reception of like greatest hits, I think we're all like
still shocked, kind of.
Yeah, still shocked, and like at least for me personally, it doesn't even seem real. Like how much like positivity there's been surrounding the record, and like how well it's been like received. I guess since it's just like something I didn't really expect at all. So
I think like for me, it's like I'm kind of used to like a lukewarm reception from even like my friends sometimes. So it's like, to have like the internet going this hard, like just being excited about it, it's like, I don't know, really, I think special.
That's a side note, but like that is the worst when your friends like show you music and you have to like pretend you like it. If you don't.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
But this actually is good though. So.
Oh, thank you. That's yeah. I think we also forgot about the records that we're excited about part.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
That's I'll maybe let Sam start with that and your
records. To answer that last question though, or like touch on that more. Yeah, it's just been like super weird because like all this internet internet stuff has like been going on, but it's like I don't know. In a way you'd think you'd feel different, but like, and maybe I do, but at the same time I kind of don't, because it's like I get up the same every day. I get in the shower, I go to my classes, and like I don't know. So it's like it's really hard to like. It doesn't really feel real, It's hard to like gauge like everything that's going on. Also, when we released the record too, we were not in Minnesota, so that was also very like isolating and like kind of weird too. Yeah. But then, for records, I don't know. Do you guys have one ready?
I guess this would be a good opportunity for us to talk about our friends that are doing cool stuff.
We're just
we're gonna plug all of our.
I'll talk about some Minneapolis bands.
Yeah,
I guess there.
One band that kind of got us into like just being like this type of music and playing this type of music, I think, was Pierre. Like their Live from the Living Room demo was kind of, I think, what made Steven and I think maybe we could be in like a cool band too. Yeah. Like, because like they all were like upperclassmen at our high school except for one of them, and we were like, I mean, they kind of got us into like I remember they all went to see like Title Fight in like Fargo and like at their show here, and like everybody came back with shirts from that show, and I was like, what's Title Fight? And I looked it up and I was into it. And
Buddy.
Yeah. Then I think I don't know, I'm trying to think. Heart to Gold is this band that I've been like buds with since I recorded their like their first EP a while ago, and that's really great. It's kind of like Glockamora type, just like fun, like just like garage rock emo type stuff. And there's this Weathered is another great band. We did like a split with them a long time ago. That's since been removed from a lot of the internet, but I think you can find it if you go on Rolling Green Records Bandcamp. Mm-hmm. And then our friends at Unturned also, we did a split with them. I'm trying to think. Inconsistent is an offshoot of Unturned that they just released an EP. That's anybody who's a fan of like sorority noise mixed with kind of like that I don't know, kind of gritty like Prince Daddy and the Hyena type like style of like just playing. Like that's really cool. Q-Pup, our buddy Luke.
He's like a singer songwriter, like lo-fi, like folk like guy, yeah. But he released a record called Ancient Agriculture and What That Means.
No, what it means.
And what it means. And, but yeah, that's a super great record too.
Yeah, so. Like for people who are fans of like Guided by Voices and Neutral Milk Hotel and like just he's got like a really great ear for melody and like songwriting stuff. And I think Sam and I are going to be playing in his live band if like we had our first practice for that, so that was fun. But yeah, then we also all play in a band called Half Mannequin.
Yeah.
That, and we're an 8-piece pop band.
Oh.
And it's
it's like the party band, like the fun band.
It's like our kind of thing that we do on the side for fun, and
because Remo Drive's not.
I mean, Remo Drive is very fun, but that's we just kind of like do shit that we wouldn't normally do with Remo Drive, and like we enter like Battle of the Bands and stuff, and like just kind of dick around, and like it's super fun for us to just kind of have something that's like we don't have to take it seriously at all, but it's just like fun, like kind of like 80s-y like Smiths type pop stuff. That's
people though.
And then what was the other part of the question? Like that's the first.
That was it. I mean, just what albums recently have you enjoyed, and how do you feel about the reception to the album?
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I guess. We all kind of listen to all sorts of stuff too. So I guess those three that we mentioned earlier are kind of good. Like recent album picks though. The Lemon Twigs, Angel Olsen, and Idols are kind of, I think, pretty representative of our spectrum.
Yeah.
Not a bad spectrum. Does anyone else have any other questions, or?
I've got one actually.
Yeah, just
all right.
What is the significance of Emo Dave and its similarity to Remo Drive? Is it just like a nickname, or?
I think that was
That started as like a joke.
It was like a joke. I don't remember exactly how it started, but like one of our first T-shirt designs, I think I was just kind of messing around in like GIMP or something, drawing like stuff, and I wrote Emo Dave, I think, instead of Remo Drive when I was tired. I don't know, but then we had like a run of shirts for a little bit that had like this little kind of like scene kid looking character who had Emo Dave written above it, and yeah, that was kind of like our mascot for a while. So we've held on to that, I guess.
There's this bathroom at my school, and they're on like the toilet paper holder. Someone carved in Emo Dave, and it wasn't me. Like it really wasn't me. But I
Sure.
Well, yeah, every day during my arts management and concert promotion class, when I go to do the dirty, I'm reminded of the Emo Dave carved into that toilet paper holder.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I got some quick like rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So let's see. What is the best pizza delivery place? So like the big chains like Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, Domino's.
I've heard bad things about Papa John's though as like a company, so I don't think I don't support that. But as far as mainstream pizza, I usually go to Papa John's.
My man's.
I don't know. I'm not a huge pizza guy anymore. When I was younger, I used to like this place called Sarpino's a lot. I'm not sure if they're like just a Minnesota thing or if they're everywhere. But
Let me catch that. Do you say you're not a huge pizza guy?
I mean, I like pizza, but I'm a weirdo vegan, so I can't have. Like,
Okay.
So I don't have to include that as vegan on the podcast, but I guess I'm airing my dirty laundry now.
Oh, okay.
So, do you have the little V next to your name on Twitter?
I wish.
No, it's the V in a circle.
Yeah. But let's see. I don't know. I don't have to be that guy. I'm gonna say Domino's. It's just that there's a Domino's close to our house, so it's just whenever it's like pizza and we need something convenient, it's Domino's. So
We also love to rip on Domino's too. That's
Yeah.
like a pastime of ours.
it's a love-hate relationship.
See, I'm really weird. I think Pizza Hut's my favorite, and I'm weird about pizza. Where, for the fans of the podcast, please don't hate me after saying this. All right, don't abandon us. We really need you guys. But I'm super weird about pizza. Where my preferred like pizza is it's like a Pizza Hut pan pizza with just cheese and no sauce.
Whoa.
So like margarita pizza.
I guess I like.
Except that you don't have any olive oil.
Being
in
a
it.
vegan.
No, yeah, it's just it's basically just cheesy bread, and I really like cheesy bread. It tastes really good. And sauce is weird. I have a weird relationship with sauce because sometimes it's like, okay, whatever, I can deal with it, but like it's like too much sauce. It's like I can't. No, it's too sweet. I can't do it. I need a little cheese.
Real recognize real.
We like it saucy.
So let's see. Is there? I don't really got anything else to say.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think
You're great.
Just like one more thing, is there any reason for the pink on the album cover? Is there any significance to that?
Aesthetic.
I think we kind of like wanted it to look super like 80s-y or like kind of like the Police, like how their album covers looked. So
Yeah.
went
I
for
guess,
kind
I guess raising awareness for breast cancer.
we could be. That's a good movement, I guess, for us to get behind. That's I think that the pink kind of just came because I think Sam and I both wear a fair amount of pink, so we were just like,
Pink tight.
yeah, that's it's
Pink is tight.
it's the right shade of you combine red and white, 2 of the 3 colors on the flag, 3 six.
Oh, actually, that's another thing about the album cover, though. Is
That's
that
true patriotism right there.
We just really love America here. We thought we'd take our picture in front of a flag.
We knew that Bruce Springsteen already did that, so we couldn't steal the boss's game.
We just want to get really big in the country scene and open up for Blake Shelton.
Hey, there's a rising leftist audience. That the audience keeps rising. Maybe go for the communism flag. Just like say fuck it. Go full communism. What were you gonna say, Will?
Oh yeah, I think it's kind of there's an interesting contrast between your visual aesthetic on the cover and like the sound of the music. Like the turtlenecks almost remind me of Devo.
Yeah.
Or like maybe Talking Heads or something like that, but like the music sounds nothing like that, which I think is interesting.
That's because we like all those bands, but yeah, we don't write
music like them at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's how we make it work.
Yeah, that's I think that we just kind of like the other thing too is that those visuals. I think that there's a lot of stuff that doesn't really look like that right now. So we were like, I think people like if they see like a record with that on it,
People
they'll kind of be
too
drawn
edgy,
to it.
Not
That's
clean.
we didn't want to, and also we're kind of like dorky people, so we were like, let's just go for something corny and true to like us, sort of. That's like, I don't know. We thought that the Trollocs would be kind of like just funny almost, like just because of how like strange we are.
It's like an artsy family photo from like the 80s.
Right. Which I think that's kind of a good embodiment of.
That's really what this band's all about.
Right. I hope that this makes it onto that awkward family photos thing in the future, like that. I think there's a website dedicated to that.
I think you have to like if you pan it, if you do a little photoshopping and have it pan out a little bit. I think I could see it.
Oh yeah. So we have to put like a cat in there or something too, like one of us holding a cat.
Yeah.
Maybe change the background.
Oh yeah.
Like
That'll be the next album.
We also have to have like one big face opaquely over, or kind of like just like a an opaque like, face over us, sort of, or like a
I think honestly, I think you guys should just pull a Weezer. Name your next album, Greatest Hits, Disc 2, and just have it be a different background. Just pull a Weezer. Just like this is the white album.
maybe grow a mustache.
Well, we have to release the one that Rolling Stone shits on next, and then we 10 years later they'll give us a really positive review.
Yeah.
We have to,
Maybe it'll be this one.
yeah, maybe that's we just need our Pinkerton is next, which I'm excited for because Pinkerton's the best album ever. So
So you already have like a mental breakdown, pretty much.
that's I think that we've all been kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So
So you need the high points to
Right.
the lows.
Right.
So I'll set it up. I'll just fall down.
Right. Either that, or we have to fill the gap that because Songs from the Black Hole never came out, we have to make a rock opera.
Rip.
Yeah.
I would actually love that.
An idiot on Broadway.
see, I know we're talking about like it's a joke, but it's like you guys should actually do that.
Dude, I had
space opera.
Yeah. Like
We got
somebody needs to do it. Yeah.
we got the strings to pull.
Yeah. We've got the Kiss posters on the wall.
Oh god.
We got all the art connections.
So I mean I think that's about it. Just I gotta do. If you guys want to plug your stuff real quick, let the listeners know where they can find your music, find your art.
Pretty much on all the free.
Tinder?
No, oh yeah, we're gonna make a band Tinder soon, I think. But that's we're gonna. I mean, we've got Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, all the goods. I'm not sure about.
It's on Tidal.
Is it?
Oh, I can
have no
check because
idea.
I can check because I have like a free 6-month Tidal trial.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm honestly curious to know that because I've been saying it, but I'm not sure if it's true. So.
Is that Amazon?
It is on Amazon.
Yeah, it's
I
on
think,
Amazon.
All right, if I do find it on Tidal, you have to make sure to email Jay-Z and get him to sign you guys.
Yeah. Rock Nation.
Yeah.
It's on the Pirate Bay.
Hold on a second. All right. I do want to see if I can find this. Oh shit! It's on here. Yep, it's on here. You guys are on Tidal.
I guess
Jay-Z,
shout out to
Hi-
our Jay-Z.
So if you want to hear it on high fidelity,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to stream it in true Jay-Z
Jay-Z
fashion.
There we go. So that's that'll about do it this week. Thank you guys for coming on the podcast. If you want to,
Thanks for having us.
That's
like and rate us 5 stars. Give
On
us some
iTunes?
positive reviews.
Make
Yes.
sure to smash that like button.
yep. Smash the like button. Make sure to go to our WordPress if you're a stinky Android user, so you can get your get the archive right there. And also, make sure to follow us on Symbol at Indieheads Podcast, and Twitter, Facebook at Indieheads Pod or Indieheads Podcast. So yeah, thank you guys for coming on the podcast once again. Go listen to Greatest Hits, one of the best albums of the year, personally for me. I fucking love it. I give it a glowing recommendation.
yay! That's thanks again for having us. That's I threw our indie heads on on our thank yous for the album. So
Oh, what? Really?
Oh, really?
Hey.
Shouts out.
I only knew about Matt though, so I only put your name. But that's if I could go back and edit it now, I'd put you all on there.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. So anyway, that'll about do it for the podcast this week, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Have a good one.
See ya.